can't hear what I'm trying to say,
hey girl, come here.
If you can't read from the same page.
MTV VMA nominations. I mean, you are the man of the year.
Diane was like, what if we had the girls pretty much naked? So the three of us really had that in common. We're both really nice guys. We're all really nice guys who love women and wanted to make something fun, you know.
"10 years ago, American singer Robin Thicke blew up on the radio waves with his hit song Blurred Lines. Born and raised in California to famous parents, Robin had been exposed to the world of show business at an early age. Though he had great success as a songwriter and producer, it wouldn't be until 2013 when he experienced a major breakthrough in the music industry. Blurred Lines became the hit of the summer and shot to the top of the pop charts where it would stay for 12 weeks. Blurred Lines featured Pharrell and rapper T.I. on the track and had a feel-good vibe to it, but it also had something else. To listeners, it sounded familiar. Many compare Blurred Lines to Marvin Gaye's hit song Gotta Give It Up. Several publications claim that Robin's newest single sampled Marvin Gaye's song.
Sounds a lot like Marvin Gaye, Keep On Dancing.
Yeah, Got to Give It Up, yeah, is the title. Yeah,
right,
same song, yeah.
And you connected because my mom was like, you know, that's like Marvin Gaye. And I'm like, what Marvin Gaye song, Mom? And she's singing it,
you know what,
I had to go look it up.
You know what I've been hearing the most lately is how many how it's the family reunion record right now. Everybody's like, I just had a family reunion in North Carolina, I just had one in Virginia, and you know, and Grandpapa, the only one Grandpapa was asking for was play that Robin Thicke record.
Yeah, that's right, because it connects.
Because it's got the old school feel, but it still feels fresh and young, and I got to really give all that credit to Pharrell. I mean, you know, I've written, as you guys know, I write and produce almost all my own music, but being in the studio with Pharrell, I really kind of stepped back. He came up with the hey, hey, hey. He came up with the best lines in the song, like you're the hottest chick in this place, all that stuff.
Robin Thicke dropped the music video to Blurred Lines on March 20th, 2013, shortly after he dropped another version of the music video, this time an unrated one. Pitchfork.com writes, as with the original, the unrated cut featured Pharrell, T.I., and Robin Thicke doing silly dances against a blank background, grimacing and mugging at three supermodels as they pranced past. But this time, all three models were topless, an obvious violation of YouTube's community standards. 2 days after the music video was published, YouTube took it down. Critics began weighing in as they accused Robin's song and video of being misogynist. A reporter at The Vice wrote, quote, "Feminism is about equality, and watching naked girls dance awkwardly around fully dressed predatory men while they sing Do It Like It Hurt is an incredibly obvious visual imbalance."
Video played a big part in making this a hit.
Yeah.
Because the video is quite out there.
Yes.
I would say.
Yes.
Or in there.
Or in there. Yeah. It's very inclusive.
Yeah.
But now, because I didn't know YouTube didn't show things, but YouTube don't show this.
Well, actually, what happened was YouTube. For those of you who don't know, there's an unrated version of the video where the girls are topless, and what happened was YouTube aired it for like 2 days, and it got 1 million hits a day. I think 14-year-old boys just broke the whole, and then they banned it, and then you did too. You helped,
They banned it?
Yeah, YouTube banned it, but then there's other places you can find it, like Vivo, and and out here in Europe, the censorship isn't the same. So in France, they play it on regular TV in France.
Have you seen some of the stuff on YouTube? I can't believe they banned that.
Yeah.
We're in Europe, okay? I get to do this.
Yeah. No. Have you seen the unrated version of the video? Yeah. They're not wearing the nice shiny tall.
After Robin released the uncut music video of Blurred Lines, critics began analyzing the lyrics. The Daily Beast published a piece titled, "Blurred Lines, Robin Thicke's summer anthem is kind of rapey." The nudity might be fine if the song was called Let's All Have Some Fun, but it's called Blurred Lines, and the subject is enough to make some female music fans uncomfortable. The song is about how a girl really wants crazy wild sex, but doesn't say it, positing that age-old problem where men think no means yes into a catchy, hummable song.
Isn't there something slightly at odds with what you're saying, with what you've done in last year's biggest selling record, Blurred Lines?
Well, what would that be?
Well, I mean, you know, who wrote I Know You Want It? Was that you?
Yeah, sure.
That was very criticised by many people who felt it.
It was.
It literally blurred the lines between a woman's right to say no and a man forcing himself.
I don't know where the forcing himself and a woman's right to say no was ever addressed in that song.
I Know You Want It? Isn't that it?
That's a man. Is that a man forcing himself on you?
Isn't it cajoling a woman?
Let me ask you a question. Women sing that song. So are women singing that to other women?
Maybe they just like the song, but I mean, you know, but the line.
But wait, the line, what does the line suggest? I know you want it.
Which is a cajoling kind of thing.
Is it sexually suggestive when a car salesman says to a person who's trying to buy a car, I know you want it? I'm asking you.
But it's a phrase that's often used in a sexual context, isn't it?
Okay, cool. But so does that make it off limits for me to use it in a song, especially when the overall arching context is that there are good women who also have bad thoughts? So good women can't have sexual thoughts?
But the context.
I'm asking you.
You're asking, what's the question you're asking me?
Can good women have sexual thoughts?
Well, of course. But
so,
with respect.
But wait. So let me answer. If a good woman can have sexual thoughts, is it wrong for a man to have a correct guess that a woman might want something?
Well, I think you have to put this in the context.
And if she wants it, does that mean that he's going to take it?
I think you have to put this in the context of the song and of the video.
Oh, okay.
Which, as you know, was also very controversial.
Okay.
And, you know, I mean, you stood there with women.
You know I'm enjoying this, right?
Yeah, no, well, good. I mean, so am I. I mean,
okay.
Look, you were standing there with women cavorting around you with no clothes on.
Right.
There was a power dynamic going on there, wasn't there? These women are there to please you.
Oh, they were?
Were they not?
Did I touch them sexually?
You don't need to. They were there with their boobs out.
Oh, okay. So let me ask you something. So in a high fashion magazine, when women have their boobs out, is there something sexual there too?
It wasn't a high fashion magazine. It was a music video.
Oh, well, if you ask the director, who's a female, who wrote it, she was inspired by editorials by high fashion magazines where women do have their boobs out. I don't recall me ever making a sexual gesture to any woman. In fact, I think the only person that I really touched in a close way was a sheep. I wrote, I Know You Want It. I can clearly tell you what that is, right? Food. Do you like food?
Yeah.
So when you're hungry, and I can tell you're hungry, and I say, I know you want it, does that mean I'm going to rape you?
Well, you know,
don't answer the question. You got to be fair.
That's a clever. That's a clever way.
I'm not trying to be. I'm not trying to be. No, it wasn't. The song is about dancing. Dancing.
About a man talking to a woman about sex.
First of all, did I say it was a man?
In an attempt to clear things up and defend his single, Robin did an interview with GQ. Here's what he had to say. Quote, Pharrell and I were in the studio, and I told him that one of my favorite songs of all time was Marvin Gaye's Gotta Give It Up. I was like, we should make something with that groove. Then he started playing a little something, and we literally wrote the song in about half an hour. The whole thing was done in a couple of hours. When asked why they had animals in the video, Robin said, quote, we tried to do everything that was taboo, bestiality, drug injections, and everything that is completely derogatory towards women. Because all three of us are happily married with children, we were like, we're the perfect guys to make fun of this. People say, hey, do you think this is degrading to women? I'm like, of course it is. What a pleasure it is to degrade a woman. I've never gotten to do that before. I've always respected women. So we just wanted to turn it over on its head and make people go, women in their bodies are beautiful. Men are always going to want to follow them around. After the video got banned on YouTube, my wife tweeted, violence is ugly, nudity is beautiful, and the Blurred Lines video makes me wanna, you know. And that's the truth. Right now with terrorism and poverty and Wall Street and Social Security having problems, nudity should not be the issue.
Hey guys, Davison here. I just watched Robin Thicke's new music video called Blurred Lines. And the reason why I called this video Robin Thicke is a dick is because in the video there are 3 topless models who prance around like objects while Farrell and Robin Thicke stay fully clothed. And I'm all about being very liberal with one's body. I'm all about sexual equality. I don't have any problem with nudity. However, I have a problem with power imbalances. And in this video, the women are clearly being used as objects to reinforce the status of the men in the video. The men have all the control and status because they are not vulnerable. They're completely covered, whereas the women have no status and are totally open to be exploited and ogled and used. And it doesn't jive with me. Add to that the fact that in the video there are balloons that spell out Robin Thicke has a big dick. And I've said this before to a couple guys. I've actually had to say this twice. A good dick doesn't need that much PR. Crap video. Offensive, did not win me as a fan. Alienated me.
Robin got a lot of heat for the song and music video, but despite the backlash, the single continued to flourish. At the 2013 MTV VMAs, he put on a shocking performance with Miley Cyrus that had everyone talking. Robin and Miley's VMA performance shocked the entertainment world. Thousands took to Twitter to voice their shock and outrage. Thousands took to YouTube to express their disgust. And news media outlets also weighed in. Here are a few clips about what people had to say regarding their performance.
If she would have performed it, did some dancing, did some dancing, it would be fine. She would have rocked it, like always. It would have been great. I would have loved it. But there's some things that you shouldn't do.
She took a chance, so you've got to give her something for that. And I must say, in my other interviews, I haven't given her anything because I didn't like it. And I've said this and I believe this. If the chick had come out naked and done a great performance, doing the same things, I don't care. I would have said, great. I'm behind you 100%. I don't like the fact that it wasn't good.
He's like, he already gave up.
What?
Wow.
What? No way. This is like
what is
the worst.
What was that?
I'm really glad I didn't watch this live yesterday because I would have just flipped.
I would have punched my TV.
I would have.
What is she doing? Like, this shouldn't be what entertainment is.
You were not surprised by any of those moves?
No, I wasn't, honestly. And I wish I guess I'm just not as normal as I thought I was. I wasn't offended by it personally, Because I think some people, they see that and they go, this is so sexual. And to me, I'm sitting there going, this is wacky. This is funny to me. It's silly.
You didn't think of it as sexual?
Well, I was on stage. I didn't see it, So to me, I'm walking out towards Miley. I'm not thinking sex. I'm thinking fun.
Yeah.
I mean, her and I don't have
but
that
she's
kind
twerking up against your
I know, but you have to remember,
kahunas.
I'm singing my butt off. So I'm sitting there, I'm looking up at the sky and I'm singing. I'm not really paying attention to all that. That's on her. I'm like, people ask me, do you twerk? I go, listen, I'm the twerk-e. I'm twerked upon. I don't twerk myself, okay? I'm just twerked upon.
Prior to the situation, Robin was seen as a wholesome family man who was devoted to his wife and child. After the situation, he was seen as a playboy that disrespected his wife of many years. Upon this controversy, Paula would speak out and share her thoughts.
Well, speaking of marriage, let's talk about that little VMA performance.
What happened? I didn't hear
Something going on there? Music Awards. Little Miley Cyrus, Robin Thicke action. Was that all planned? Did you know that this was going to go that way?
I mean, they rehearsed for 3 days. Robin told me in advance, and I don't know, maybe I have blinders on. I was at the thing. I only looked at him, but I don't know.
You didn't notice the big finger?
I did, but I gotta be honest with you. I don't know what people thought Miley was going to do. I mean, sit down and play piano like Alicia Keys. The song is about taking Molly. I mean, I just kind of expected it to be wild, and I thought it was great.
Now, did you, before Robin chose the Beetlejuice look, did he consult with you on it?
Well, you gotta see the new video. It makes sense. But no, I was like, you have to wear that suit.
Really?
It's dope. Yes.
It's nice.
I think it's fashion
He pulls it
forward.
off.
I think he pulls off a lot of things.
So it sounds like you were surprised to the explosive reaction. I mean, this wasn't just a VMA story. It was all over the news the next day. And
Can I tell you?
It was eroding and corrupting our culture.
It was shocking to me because, you know, it was so funny. He finished. I was like, that was great. You guys killed it. Gave him a hug. Woke up the next morning. It's like, I got all these texts like, praying for you. Hey, I'm here for you. I'm like, what? Hey, don't worry about it. You got that beat. I'm like, whoa, what is everybody doing?
Well, you
like,
obviously, you're both artists, and you know these are roles, and you play lots of roles. And for him, getting up on stage and doing what he does, he's playing a role too.
I don't know if you guys have been to a club lately, but that's how girls dance at the club.
Wow.
My friends dance with him like that. I don't.
But are there any
It's nice that he shares.
It's
nice that he shares.
Absolutely.
You guys have you've dated since you were teens. You've been married now. You've got a kid together. Unlike your character in Baggage Claim, what's the secret? Because you guys are almost the opposite of what goes on in Hollywood.
You know, I wish I could tell you a secret. In the end of the day, it's love. Love is that weird, magical thing. There's no science to it. It makes you crazy. It makes you blind. We're still madly in love. And I don't know. I'm not that uptight. I'm not a traditionalist.
Together since they were teenagers, Paula and Robin appeared to be a rock-solid couple, which was a rarity in Hollywood. According to Robin, she was his muse, his light, and biggest support system. But their marriage would be tested when a picture of Robin hit the press. The Pitchfork.com writes, after weeks of national conversation about the sexual power dynamics of blurred lines, including radio bans and protests from SA survivors, the situation effectively collapsed when a photo emerged of Thicke from an after-party. Not long afterward, his wife of many years, Paula Patton, filed for divorce.
Paula Patton finally pulled the trigger and filed for divorce from her high school sweetheart, Robin Thicke. TMZ first broke the news. Patton filed in Los Angeles and cited irreconcilable differences for the cause of the split. The actress is asking for joint legal and physical custody of their 4-year-old son, Julian Fuego. And according to reports, the divorce is, quote, harmonious. Patton and Thicke, who married back in 2005, separated in February of 2014. The former couple wrote in a joint statement, "We will always love each other and be best friends. However, we have mutually decided to separate at this time." Over the past several months, Thicke has been working tirelessly to win his wife back, even going as far as naming his latest album Paula. Unfortunately, Robin's efforts were a lost cause. For HipHollywood.com, I'm Ashley Williams.
On top of Paula filing for divorce, Robin and Pharrell would be sued by Marvin Gaye's estate for copyright infringement. When Blurred Lines was released in 2013, the public was quick to notice that it sounded similar to Marvin Gaye's song Gotta Give It Up. According to the Daily Mail, Robin and Pharrell filed a preemptive lawsuit to prevent the Gaye family from claiming any share of royalties. They offered the Gaye family a lowball amount of 6 figures. In response, the Gaye family declined the offer and later sued Robin and Pharrell for copyright infringement. Here are some clips from their depositions.
Do you consider yourself an honest person?
No.
Define a bluegrass chord structure, please.
I'm not here to teach you music.
Robin Thicke and Pharrell are curt and confrontational.
Do you make it a habit of being dishonest when you give interviews?
When I give interviews, I tell whatever I want to say to help sell records.
I think the strategy they were given was to divert and not answer any questions directly. The problem is a deposition is actually deemed a court proceeding and you are to act as though you're in front of a jury.
We pray and we have a shot of vodka and then we go.
From E.T. to Oprah, Thicke said he was out of it during his 2013 media tour.
With all due respect, I was high and drunk every time I did an interview last year.
The deposition videos were just released by a federal judge after a jury ruled the singers copied blurred lines from Marvin Gaye's 1977 song, Got to Give It Up. Pharrell was grilled about his ability to read music.
I'm just asking you whether you can read notes, and you told me you could, and I'm asking you to identify the notes that are shown.
Right.
And you can't do it, can you?
I'm not comfortable.
Okay. And that's because you actually can't read musical notes, can you?
I'm not comfortable.
In addition to dealing with this court case, Robin was going through a very public separation from his wife, who he was trying to reconcile with in a very public way. After Blurred Lines, Robin released the album titled Paula, where he admits it was an attempt to win her back. Unlike the success of his previous album, Paula was a flop.
Your woman wants something that you're not.
Right.
And
she wants the truth.
But that to me says that you've been lying. Like you.
Yeah.
What were you lying? Like, were you lying about who you are? Were you lying about specific actions? Was it all the above? Like,
I'm a man. I messed up and had to lie for a while, and then I stopped lying, and that was actually good for me because I was tired of lying. So this whole album is me revealing everything.
You hear men say it all the time. I didn't know what I had. You don't know what you have until it's gone.
I knew exactly what I had.
You knew exactly what you had.
Yeah.
And you still effed it up.
Yeah, buddy.
But why?
Why are That's what women are. What she's saying is she can't even, she's perplexed.
It just hurts. And to me, I don't know, explain to me why. Like, if you know you have something so amazing at home, like, why risk it?
Well, it's not that simple. After 20 years, you know what I mean? It didn't work for 20 years because, it wasn't right. It was right. It's just, sometimes people grow apart. It's not, you don't build love in a day and you don't lose it in a day,
Wow.
We're apart because we just couldn't be together anymore for a while. There's 100 different reasons. There isn't just one. There's a long list.
But you still put the brunt of it on you.
Because I changed and I got a little too selfish and a little too greedy, a little too full of myself. So
it's humbling.
Very.
Despite Robin's public pleas to win Paula back, their divorce was finalized in 2015. With the loss of his wife and the lack of sales for his latest album, Robin was in a downward spiral. To make matters worse, in July of that year, a judge ruled in the favor of the Gaye family for copyright infringement and awarded them $5.3 million in damages. Robin and Pharrell would have to compensate the Gaye family. Upon this judgment, Robin attempted to move forward with his life and put the Blurred Lines fiasco behind him. Unfortunately, his beloved father, actor Alan Thicke, died in December of 2016.
It was a moving memorial Sunday for the late Alan Thicke at his home in Carpinteria, California. About 150 close family and friends gathered under a white tent as Thicke's son, Blurred Lines singer Robin Thicke, kept things light as he addressed his dad's widow, Tanya.
Thank you, Tanya. You look like Jackie O right now.
A special eulogy came from his Growing Pains cast. There is Tracy Gold, Kirk Cameron, and Leonardo DiCaprio. He's front and center wearing the cap. The A-list memorial included touching tributes from Alan's friends, including Jeopardy host Alex Trebek, comedians Bob Saget, and Bill Maher. Alan's daughter-in-law Dolly posted this message on her Facebook page. Tonight's memorial for Alan was just about perfect. So much family and so many historic friends came out to remember our beloved father figure. Then on Monday, Alan Thicke was laid to rest at a cemetery in Santa Barbara. Son Robin looked grief-stricken as he helped pull his father's casket out of the hearse. And graveside, the 39-year-old appears overcome with emotion as he says goodbye to America's dad.
Upon the passing of his father, Robin's troubles wouldn't end there. In 2017, after a custody dispute, Paula accused Robin of getting physical with her on multiple occasions. According to Harper's Bazaar, Paula claimed that in April of 2013, Robin became inappropriate with the masseuse, after which he allegedly became so angry he broke down the locked door. Quote, Robin became physically violent with me. He pushed me down and kicked me. Paula claimed that the alleged abuse continued at the 2013 Cannes Film Festival when he allegedly hit her. She said, quote, he hit me with a closed fist to my upper body and then pushed me to the ground. Paula also stated that after his 2013 tour, Robin boasted about having unprotected sex with 7 other women, and she alleged that after the infamous 2013 VMA performance, she found him in bed with 2 naked women. Quote, I wanted to leave Robin, but at the same time, I was incredibly fearful of angering him, and I did not want our son growing up in a broken home. He would often threaten me that he would leave both of us penniless, given the IRS tax liens incurred by him during the course of the marriage. These claims came to light after a dispute between the exes in 2017. According to Paula, she was concerned about the way Robin disciplined their son, who was 6 at the time. She said, quote, given Robin's history of hitting me with a closed fist, pushing me onto the ground and kicking me, I had no doubt he was capable of hitting our son, particularly after having used coke, alcohol, or whatever other substances with which he is presently involved.
This child is literally begging for me and everyone to call 911.
The custody battle between singer Robin Thicke and actress Paula Patton takes a nasty turn as the family nanny calls 911. Cops were called to a park in Malibu as the couple's 6-year-old son sat in his mother's car. According to the nanny, the boy was refusing to see his father for a prearranged custody visit. The nanny also claimed that Thicke was violating a restraining order.
We need you guys to just intervene because we have a court order document that child does not want to go with his father. He doesn't have to go. We have a restraining order. The person is within distance of the restraining order. He's in violation of it currently.
According to visitation rules, 41-year-old Paula is supposed to hand over their son to a court-appointed representative, as seen in this photo. Thicke is then supposed to arrive to take the boy.
It is agreed upon that he will not come to the park until we are gone, and then he comes.
Paula has accused Thicke of physically abusing their son Julian. Thicke has denied all allegations of wrongdoing. Photos posted on his social media show father and son at the beach and on a boat. But in the 911 call, the nanny claimed Julian wanted nothing to do with his dad.
He's 6 years old, and literally every time we have these visits, like the night before, or like the day of, he's crying, he's praying to the angels, he's trying to avoid this like the plague.
The Blurred Lines singer was photographed this week with his 22-year-old girlfriend, model April Love Geary, who, by the way, looks a lot like his ex. They're all smiles, despite the heartbreaking turmoil with Thicke's son.
This child is literally begging for me and everyone to call 911.
Source has been quoted defending Robin Thicke, saying he was not in violation of the restraining order, adding that while waiting for his son, the singer stayed in the designated spot that had been agreed upon by both parties.
Upon these allegations, Robin's lawyer responded with the following statement, quote, Paula never reported any DV until she was in a position of contempt by violating the custody orders. DCFS asked both Paula and Robin to take a drug test. Robin agreed and submitted his test, but Paula refused to test. Infidelity has nothing to do with custody. She is attempting to throw anything at him to hurt him, but Robin's focus is their son. In 2018, Robin faced more trouble when his home burned down in the Malibu fires. According to Robin, this tragedy gave him the opportunity to start over and completely rebuild his life. For the next couple of years, Robin would focus on his family, his sobriety, and healing. But in 2021, he would be accused of SA.
Emily Ratajkowski reportedly accuses Robin Thicke of groping her in an excerpt from her upcoming book, My Body. In a passage from the book published by the Sunday Times, the model recounts the moment from the set of Thicke's music video for his 2013 song Blurred Lines. She explains how she initially enjoyed working on the music video, which featured an all-female crew, until she and Thicke were alone on set. She writes, "Suddenly, out of nowhere, I felt the coolness and foreignness of a stranger's hands cupping my my bare breasts from behind. She adds that she, quote, instinctively moved away, looking back at Thicke. She says that he smiled with a goofy grin and stumbled backward, and that the video's director, Diana Martel, yelled to her with her voice cracking, "Are you okay?" Martel reportedly confirmed the account to the Sunday Times, saying that she screamed to Thicke in her very aggressive Brooklyn voice, quote, "What the bleep are you doing? That's it, the shoot is over." She recalls how Thicke, quote, sheepishly apologized, as if he knew it was wrong without understanding how it might have felt for Radikowski. The director noted that everything had been very sweet and enjoyable until that moment, and she added that she threatened to shut down production, but when she checked on Radikowski, the model was very professional and said that the video shoot could continue. Radikowski also writes in the passage that Thicke was, quote, a little drunk and didn't seem to be enjoying himself in the same way during filming. She explains that the incident made her feel naked for the first time that day and that she was desperate to minimize the weight of the situation. She writes, quote, with that one gesture, Robin Thicke had reminded everyone on set that we women weren't actually in charge. I didn't have any real power as the naked girl dancing around in his music video. I was nothing more than the hired mannequin. In February, Thicke told People that he was abusing pills and alcohol around the time Blurred Lines came out. He was also going through a divorce with his ex-wife Paula Patton, who alleged infidelity, physical abuse, and drug use. Thicke has denied the cheating and abuse allegations.
When this story broke, it was shocking. Emily's vulnerability would inspire others to speak out and share their SA stories. And several celebrities in the industry would also weigh in too.
One of the big things that is happening in the modeling world right now is that model Emily Ratajkowski, who was in the Blurred Lines video with Robin Thicke, and T.I. and Pharrell, recently came out and said that during the shoot, Robin Thicke came up behind her and touched her breasts without her, actually being okay with it. And it became kind of a very serious thing. And then during the actual shoot, the video director, who's a female herself, came out and said, yeah, that actually did happen. And I was really upset. I shut the whole shoot down for that day. And Robin tried to kind of apologize, but now this is coming back up.
I'm glad for homegirl to step up and say something. I mean, it obviously bothered her because that video was 10, 12 years ago. But still, I mean, She still has that right to say something. And I know Robin, and I know he didn't mean no harm by it, but even though you're on a set like that, you still gotta, be cordial, be a gentleman, ask permission. I understood it was like, in the heat of the moment or whatever, but you still can't do that. That's not cool. It's not cool for a woman to do it to a man nor a man to do to a woman, Private space is private space, no matter what set you're on.
Robin Thicke was trending for like 3 days. At the end of the day, coming up and grabbing a woman's breasts while you're working with her, there's nothing cool about that.
No, and I'm sure Robin, has the deepest apologies over it, and I don't think he'll ever do anything like that again. I mean, I'm sure he would, if he could say sorry to her, face to face, he would, I met the guy a few times. I even knew his dad, and his dad was a legend, bro. And his dad ain't raised him like that. You just probably in the heat of the moment again, shit happens, and I'm sure he's very sorry about that.
Yeah, I mean, I read the interview by her. She said that, like, if she was at a bar and Blurred Lines would come on, the speakers, she would just, like, leave the bar. She just couldn't take it. It was just, like, traumatic for her to think about that.
Wow, yeah. That sucks, man.
And it was such a huge song that it was just
it was everywhere.
Over and over again for years.
You couldn't walk down the street and not hear it, I mean...
Emily's book of essays was released on September 13th, 2022. In doing press for her book, she was asked where she stood with Robin Thicke. Here's what she had to say. It must be noted that Robin Thicke has yet to publicly address Emily's allegations.
At some point, Robin Thicke unfriended you on one of these apps, or he stopped following you.
Me, yeah.
He blocked you.
Yeah.
And I heard your theory about it. You said maybe he was uncomfortable because, as you point out, he grabbed your breast inappropriately during the filming of this thing. I don't think that's it. I think he blocked you because you now are more famous than him from his song. You could say that video with its 17 billion views is all due to you, and he can't fucking stand it. What do you think of that?
I think that could be right. You know, it's actually him blocking me is the thing that made me remember that moment on set, because I was kind of trying to think like, what have I said in the press that would piss him off? What, you know, like, why would he have blocked me? I wonder if he even realizes he blocked me, honestly. It was a long time ago. I've been blocked for years and years. But it's possible.
Oh, he knows he blocked you. He knows he blocked you. You know when you're blocked.
I mean, he does. He definitely does now. No, I mean, one of the things that I felt on set, one of the kind of, and I write about it in the book, is, you know, we were having a really good time. I had a great time on that set in general. And I think that's a part of this experience that kind of people have a hard time wrapping their head around, is that I both had a great time and also this moment happened, you know, where I felt humiliated and blah, blah, blah. But it was actually, I think, kind of what I remember. And again, this is, I don't go too far in the book because I don't want to, you know, put my thoughts onto someone else. I don't know what he was thinking, but I remember that all the women, everybody, we'd been alone, just kind of like shooting our project. It's what it felt like. And he came onto set, and I felt like he was annoyed that he wasn't getting more attention. This was kind of his big moment. You know, Pharrell, T.I. were in this video, but it was his song. And I remember him kind of feeling, I don't know, like a little bit like, hey, what about me? And that's when that moment happened.
Robin Thicke spent years wishing for a hit. That one track that would skyrocket his career and solidify his spot in the music industry. In 2013, he had that hit. Blurred Lines became Robin's biggest achievement in his music career, as it gave him the commercial success he wanted. But it would also contribute to his downfall and become one of the most controversial songs to date. Recently, Robin Thicke has shared his thoughts about that period in his life and what it has taught him.
And Robin, you keep inspiring us and you keep evolving. In an interview with the New York Post, you said that you would never make a music video like Blurred Lines again. What do you want to accomplish with your music now?
Well, you know, I went through a period there with Blurred Lines where I wanted, you know, to be a star. You know, I had made music for 20 years and I hadn't quite broken that international, worldwide, you know, pop success. And so I went for broke, you know, and then I started chasing that. And then I lost my music and I lost myself and I lost my head. And so these years that I've had off, you know, this music is really about, it's supposed to be a warm blanket, you know, it's supposed to be a big hug, because that's what I needed. I've had so much loss. My house burned down, my mentor, my father, my manager all passed away, but I've also had 3 children. And I've also, you know, I spend more time with my mom than I ever used to. And so there's so much love in my life. And so I have so much gratitude that this album is just about saying thank you to the people that have made me who I am, and also dedicated to my children and my fiance and my mother, who are right here with me every day, you know.